Suzlon, that's the one on our radar. Motilal Oswal, they've initiated coverage on the stock. They have an aggressive buy rating. Let's find out more about how things are shaping up from here on. We're joined by Mr. J.B. Chalasani, the Chief Executive Officer at Suzlon. Hi, sir. Good morning, and always good to see you in. Well, the Motilal Oswal note is quite positive on the prospects of the company. Let's talk about the industry first. Wind energy here in India is relatively underpenetrated if you compare it with the globe. And Motilal, in their note, they are saying that wind energy is expected to account for close to around 20% of India's renewable energy by 2030. Currently, I think it's low to mid-teens. Do you second that thought? Do you believe that's possible, 20% of the total RE space? And also, they're talking about India's new wind energy installations to reach around 8 gigawatt annually by FY27. Is that possible, 20% and 8 gigawatt?
Absolutely. If you look at even the projections requirement as per the CA projections itself, by 2030, 300 gigawatts is solar and 100 gigawatts is wind. So obviously in the 400 gigawatts, 100 gigawatts is wind, which is 25% of renewable energy, not counting the hydro, which is different. And as far as reaching out 8 gigawatts, I've been saying this, it is not something an unachievable task. Even if you look at FY17, we did about 5.5 gigawatts in the country, which was the highest ever achieved in the wind. That was for 2 megawatt turbines. Now every turbine is 3 megawatts and more. So if you convert that, because turbine is turbine, whether it's 2 megawatt or 3 megawatts, erection remains the same. If you convert that, even that point of time, we had a capacity of 8 gigawatts implementation capacity in 2017. So therefore, I really don't see an issue in that. There are few challenges on the ground, which needs to get sorted out, and we will ramp up.
So 20% is possible as a percentage of the total mix and close to around 8 gigawatt of installations by FY27. Got that. That's with regard to the industry perspective. For your company, Mr. Chalasani, if that's the case, 8 gigawatt, and you have, I think, roughly around 40% of the market share. Motilal Oswal, in their note, they are talking about you hitting close to around 3.2 gigawatt of installations in 2027. Possible, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We are at 2.7 gigawatts of installations in the country till end of February. So I think we should cross that number as a country, the wind installations. And when you're talking about the percentage, there are two different percentages. One is our share in terms of total installed capacity in India till now. So we are the number one and far ahead of everybody else at 31% market share on the installed capacity. And if you talk about the currently, what is most important for us is also the order book. And if you look at calendar year 24, some repeated news and it just came up with the reports. Globally, not just here, we are number 5 in terms of order book. And they also said not number 5 compared to everyone else. Suzlon is the one which has 100% firm orders. Okay. So therefore, it's not just the orders. Globally, we are number 5. And then we also have firm orders.
Okay. All right. So just to confirm, 3.2 gigawatt of installations possible by 2027. For the industry, it could be in the vicinity of around 7 to 8 gigawatt, right?
No. 3.2 gigawatts of installed capacity would reach this year, this financial year, is expected to reach.
And for Suzlon in the next 2 years, given the industry will move from around this 3.5 to around 7 to 8, as per what projections suggest, by FY27, you could do around 3.2?
No comments. We don't give a guidance in advance. You know that very well. We always have this in CNBC. Obviously, that looking at our market share, being a market leader, more important is, for us, the business scenario got changed. Earlier, it used to be completely the COD because we were doing 80% or 90% of our order book used to be EPC orders. But today, the 20% is EPC, 80% is equipment supply and parts flow. So therefore, for us, our business is how many turbines we supply. Okay, then because someone else is going to do the commissioning of those turbines. So the business slightly got changed, but we would obviously the market is going to go to that level. We would grow, but I don't want to give a number to it.
So let's talk about that. I think the order book, as of what we know, the latest numbers, end of Q3, I think was around 5.9 gigawatts. So as we start looking forward to FY26, how is the tendering activity? There are some reports indicating that maybe there's some slowdown. Earlier, the overall update was about, I think, 10 gigawatts of tendering. That's what our colleagues are telling us. And the reality has been a little lower than that. So can you tell us what's the on-ground situation?
Yes. So the first thing is that what impact the tendering has on our order book is important to understand.
Sure.
For us, if you look at our order book, what you talked about, 5.9, the simple addition of 5.5 versus subsequently whatever we announced, 60% of our current order book is coming from C&A segment, which has nothing to do with the bidding, and it has nothing to do with PPA. Okay, this is all for the large conglomerates for their internal consumption, whether it is JSPL or Charity Villa or Serentica. These are nothing to do with the bidding. And that's where we are number one. And then we are a preferred the OEM for these people. So therefore, that's one segment which there is no issue. Balance 40%, 20% of that segment is coming from public sector. Okay. You know that we won NTPC single largest contract of 1.165 gigawatts. And there are more in the pipeline for NTPC. And then even other ESUs have said that they will be coming out with more and more tenders. So therefore, that segment is second segment. Third segment, 20%, is what comes to us from the big PPAs. And every single order we have taken in that segment has a firm PPA. Only after that is what we'll take the order.
No, fair enough, sir. So it's a mix. I completely understand that it's a mix. Your direct work you're doing for different corporates, some would be competitive bidding. But a general sense, now that we are going to be looking out for FY26, how do you see your order book growing across these segments?
Yeah, our order book, in my opinion, would remain the more or less similar sort of a category. 40-50% in C&A, and PSU I expect is going to increase, and then the bid will remain at the same 20-25%. But now addressing your specific question of bidding, bidding is happening. So there were a few concerns raised in the recent past about the delays from the bidding to the signing of power purchase agreements. Okay. That if you see in the last 30-45 days, there is a significant progress which is happening. So there is a sense of urgency at various levels. And we are now seeing the traction in terms of signing PPAs. If you see in the last 30-45 days itself, number of PPAs have been signed. So therefore, bidding was never an issue. There's a huge amount of bidding happening, happened even today. Those need to get converted into PPAs, which is what is moving now. That segment will increase significantly in FY26.
All right. Mr. Chalasani, good that you came on and spoke to us. Important last comments there. Things have picked up in terms of PPA signings, etc. last 35-40 days. We'll speak again, sir. Good luck. Thank you very much for joining us here on CNBC-TV18. We'll take a quick commercial break here. We're going to come back and we put the focus back on Trump tariffs. Sunil Kaul of Goldman Sachs will talk to us about what kind of reciprocal tariffs India and other emerging markets should expect. But the focus is very much on India in that conversation. Coming up.